Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a get ready with me. This is the second get ready with me that I've done on my channel, and I hope to do many more. So if you like this video, please make sure to let me know in the comments below, like the video, and subscribe. Let's get started. So starting off with, I've already prepped my face. As you can see, I do have a little bit of breakouts. I have already prepped my face by using a hyaluronic acid by The Ordinary, as well as a light everyday moisturizer. The one I use is actually, the one I used today is the e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. It's really good. I just keep it in my beauty fridge. It's nice and lightweight, great for before makeup. So what I'm going to start with today is I'm first going to start with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And we're going to take that and just dab it into the areas that I need it the most, which is going to be right in the T-zone. This is going to be where most people are going to need it. How's the weather where you live? Right now, I live in Arizona, and it's been kind of rainy lately. It's been really just wet. I woke up the other day, I had a painting drying outside, and I woke up the other day and it was wet out there. So there went that painting. Good thing I didn't really try. It wasn't really too connected to that one. Next, I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer. My hair on the sides is getting a little in the way, so we'll put on a headband. This is just a cute little headband I got from Hobby Lobby. I love headbands that have cat ears or something fun on them. I forgot to... Let me go wet my beauty blender and I'll be right back. Today I'm going to start with using a pinky tone under eye concealer because I really feels like that helps cancel out the eye bags. I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. It's in the brightener shade. It normally comes with a little sponge on top. I do go ahead and rip that off. I feel like it really helps with the longevity of the product. I feel you just get more product that way because you don't have a sponge soaking up a lot of it. So I just squeeze out a little bit, or twist up, I should say. It's a twist up a little bit. And I'm actually going to use my Real Techniques. This is the 213. This is they're one of their new foundation brushes. I actually really like it. As you can tell, I've used it. And blend that in a little bit. See how that just like brightened everything up? I love it. Next, we're going to go in with our foundation. Today I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation with hyaluronic acid. I really enjoy this foundation. I would say it's about a medium coverage for me. It's not like a Urban Decay All Nighter or Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation or anything like that, but it's definitely not lightweight either. I dot that around. This is a trick that I do. I bring it down my neck. Is I first blend out my foundation with a brush, then go in and blend it with the beauty blender or a blending sponge, whatever you want to call it. Because that way, not so much of my foundation has been soaked up into the sponge. Now, you can stop here. For me, I'm going to add a little bit more in. I really prefer a heavy duty coverage in my foundation. I know I don't necessarily need it, but I like it, so. Next, I'll go in with my sponge. This is actually an Ulta beauty sponge. I got it in last year's They usually have like a sponge gift set a makeup sponge gift set every year. Those sponges in there I find to be very good, very comparable to Real Techniques, to the Beauty Blender. I personally prefer these ones to a Real Beauty Blender. I find the Real Beauty Blender to be just kind of more, maybe more porous than I like. But these ones I feel are really good. Once I have patted that in, I'll go in with my concealer. We're going in with our Tarte Shape Tape. Told you, I'm here for the full coverage. I am not here to mess around. Go under my eyes with it. Now, the Shape Tape is one of those concealers where you don't need a lot. But I put a lot. Because once again, I just like it. Okay, now let's blend. Next I'm going to use powder. My favorite powder that I've been using now for at least a year has been the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Powder Foundation and Concealer. It has a mirror top, but when you open it, it does have a nice mirror in there. And then as you can see, I do use quite a bit of it. This does lift up. It does come with a little sponge on the inside. Sometimes I actually use that. It's not my favorite method of applying it, but it does help if I want more coverage out of the product. Because again, this is a foundation powder / concealer. So we're going full beat face today. To get my under eyes nice and covered, I will go in with the sponge. Again, this kind of coverage isn't for everyone. I do just like a full face of makeup. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're going to just go in with our bronzer and our contour. Today what we're going to be using is our Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the shade just 6676 bronzer. The Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm going to go in with these two shades right here. If you're looking at the kit, there's these two shades. This is the lighter version of the kit. They do make a darker one. I'm going to mix those two together. If you've never done your contour before or you're not sure how, this is how I do it. I'm not saying this is the right way or the wrong way. This is just how I do it. You kind of suck in a little bit. That's the old trick. You know, you suck in, make a fish face. And then you can see the contour right here. Me, I have a chubby face, so it's a little bit harder to see. But that's still going to give you that line. Generally, you're going to go from the tip of your ear to your mouth, to the corner of your mouth. So if you think of it like that, creating that line right there. And you want your contour to end about halfway. So you always want to start back by your ear because that's where the darkest spot of powder is going to go. And start applying. Now, sometimes I go back and forth with my brush, go like this, and sometimes I do small circles. There's no wrong way. See, that's going to be about as much as you want to contour. You don't need to contour all the way down to your corner of your mouth, but if I were to keep this going, that's where I would reach. Or about, you know, nothing's perfect. We're going to do the other side. Again, there's that little pimple of mine. Put your brush down first back here because it's the darkest spot. Maybe you contour differently than I do. Maybe you you know, want to start in the middle of your ear and go down. Maybe you like to go the full way. Maybe you don't like to do contour at all. Maybe you like a really light contour. There's no wrong way to do your makeup. This is a Morphe E62. It's just a little angled brush like this. I use this one to contour. I'm going to take those same 2 shades and I'm going to start right here. Because right here, when you look at me, this is going to be the darkest part. This incave right here is going to be the darkest part where your natural shadow falls. So I'm just going to lay the brush down there first and take it down to the end. Again, take it down to the end. And then I'll go back and forth a little bit just to try to blend it out. And then I'll do a little bit up to the brow bone. But again, start in that same spot, take it down. Now, I'm not sure if it really translated on camera, but this side of my nose, it looks a lot more defined. The tip of my nose looks a lot more defined down here than it does on this side. So again, start right here and take it down. Start right here, take it down. Next, I always contour under my bottom lip. I do this to make my lips look more full. Again, I'm usually pretty happy with the size of my lips, but a little contouring never hurt. I just have the littlest bit of powder on there. And I usually try to go, my natural chin outline is right here. So I do try to follow that a little bit and go right under the lip as well. Notice how I'm not going all the way out to the sides. You don't need to go all the way out to the sides to get that little punch. Next, I'm just going to take another large fluffy brush. This is an E52 by Morphe. Sorry, I should have been telling you all of my brushes all along. We're going to go into that butter bronzer. The little applicator just fell out. I don't use that one. Just going to dab it in. And just kind of go where the sun would naturally bronze you. That's just the thing people say. I don't know if the sun would actually naturally bronze you right here or not, but just right on the temples. Careful not to go in too far or put too much powder because this can look really muddy really quick. So less is more. Always start out with less powder. I always sweep right across the top of my hairline, just a little bit. I just had a hair of powder. I went in maybe 2 taps. Tap it off a little bit and just do this. Now, you can choose to contour under your chin with the contour kit like we did our cheeks, or you can use this. To me, I find them to be interchangeable, and it's just easier for me to do it in this step. Next is going to be blush. I could not tell you what Morphe brush this is because my dog Daisy got a hold of it like the second day I had this brush, but it's my favorite blush brush. It's just their standard blush brush. It's in the Elite line, so give that a try. This is Tarte's Seduce, the Amazonian clay 12-hour blush. Mine fell apart, so I had to put it back together. I had to put it back together with alcohol and press it and let it dry out. It hasn't changed the formula of it at all, and I love this one so much. And then I'm going to put that starting right here on the apple of my cheek. And then I'm going to take it back. I personally take my blush all the way back. You don't have to. Many people leave their brush right here up in the front. I personally like to take it back a little bit. I feel like it elongates my face a little bit because I do have a very round face. That just kind of helps shape it, give it a little bit more shape. We're going to do the other side. Lastly, for the face, we're going to be highlighting. My all-time favorite highlighter is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. As you can see, mine is beat to death. Using a Morphe M438 brush. It's just a tapered brush. Honestly, I pick up a lot of powder. You don't have to. Again, no wrong way. I start back here, bring it, and I kind of layer my highlighter a little bit over my blush. This may be too much highlighter for you. This may be not enough. You may not want highlighter. It's up to you. And then I take a little bit of highlighter, or a lot of it, to be honest, and put it down the center of my nose where we contoured before. And then a little bit above on my Cupid's bow. Or a lot of it. Up to you. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. For brows, I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is the color Ash Brown. It's actually a pretty dark brown color, but I like my brows to be pretty heavy and filled in. Now for this part, I'm going to have to move my little mirror closer so I can fully see. And again, you want to start where your brow is going to be the darkest. The darkest place of your brow is going to be the arch. Now I have a spot in my arch right here. I don't grow hair because I had stitches when I was a kid. So I have a lot more filling in to do than some people would. But I always start with my arch and draw it out. And then, with whatever's left over, I'll go in and fill in the front. I kind of furrow my brow a lot when I'm doing my eyebrows to see. I like a very pointed arch. And I don't know if you can tell, but my tail on this brow got a little too thick for my liking. So I'll just take a Q-tip and clean it up. Oops. And then I'll brush through my brows and give them a final touch up. This is, again, just how I like to do my eyebrows. Sometimes I do them very thick, sometimes I do them very thin. Just depends on how they're participating that day, honestly. So I'll go in and do my other brow, and I'll be right back. I finished up with my other brow. Next, we're gonna go in with eyeshadow. I decided to throw it back today. We're gonna use the LORAC Pro eyeshadow palette. Mine is very well loved. This reminds me of like the early days on YouTube. And everyone I watched when they first got this palette loved it, and it's just very reminiscent for me. So I am going to start by taking a Morphe M433. This is a clean one, believe it or not, only because I just bought it. And I'm going to start by going into mauve, this color right here. If you don't know, the top row is all mattes and the bottom row is all shimmers. Load some on my brush. And I don't really use an eyeshadow primer. Sometimes I do. Most of the times I don't even bother. Because I tend to put my concealer, when I'm blending it out with my beauty blender, I tend to blend it out over my eye. And that usually works. This one, right now I'm not looking to smoke it out. I'm just looking to get it in the crease. Again, not necessarily looking to smoke it out or blend it very well. I'm just looking to get the color down. Then we'll take a Morphe M441. This is just a large fluffy brush. And blend that out with windshield wiper motions. Back into that color a little bit if you need to. Next I take really that same brush, that Morphe M443 that we first started with, and I just really start building the color very little by little. I'll go in with either taupe or sable. I think today we'll go in with sable. Always knock off the excess. And just put that right in the crease. And I'll go back to that same fluffy brush and blend it out a little bit more. My eyeshadow looks are not very complicated. You can do this with any, take a mid-tone shade, a darker shade, and get to this point and you'll be fine. This is a Morphe M124 brush. This is really just a flat shader brush. I'm going to go in with light pink. And I'm going to put that on the lid. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be sloppy. See, I'm getting it everywhere. And that's fine. Then we're just going to go in with that old same blending brush. Blend it out. We're going to tap off. I usually just take the brush on the table, pretend this is a table, and just go like that a little bit to flick off the excess. We're going to go into the cream shade. And just use that as our highlight. Again, doing that, flicking off the excess. Then I'm going to go down into nude. This is my favorite highlight color of all time. Take a little on that same flat brush, pat it into our inner corner. Oh, look at how much that makes it pop. So then on the bottom, we're just going to do a reflection of the top. We're going to go back in with mauve on that same original brush, the same crease brush we used, and line our bottom lashes. And then we're going to go in with sable, again, the same color, same brush, everything. Tap off the excess. You said that weird, huh? The excess. And put it in the outer corner. It helps if you make faces. Now again, you can stop here, or if you want to get a little darker, take that same original brush. We're gonna go in with deep purple. Put a little bit on our brush. Tap off the excess. And just put this right in the outer corner. And blend. Blend a little bit using that same brush. Do the same thing on the other side. If you want, put a little bit of purple on the bottom lash line too. And we're going to take that same other blending brush, only 3 brushes used today, for the eyes, and blend. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I did get a little eyeshadow down here. Just going to take the original brush that I used for my powder and flick it off. Next, we're going to go in with eyeliner. I personally prefer to do a winged liner. You don't have to. The eyes definitely speak for themselves, but I prefer a winged liner. Again, I'm going to lean in kind of close here. Hopefully you can see. I always start in the middle, work my way out, and then go back and fill in the front. The reason why is I feel like if I start in the front, I can't always make a smooth line. And then when I wing, I turn my hand. I try to imagine my bottom lash line being extended out. And you notice I don't go all the way in on my inner corner. That's because for the longest time when I was doing my eyeliner, I was using one that I was actually had an allergic reaction to, so it burned my eyes. So I just got in the habit of not lining all the way in. I'm going to go ahead and do my other side and be right back. Okay, now that we're back, now I'm going to do some quick mascara really quick. That was redundant. I'm going to start with the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I really enjoy this mascara. I know mascaras are pretty highly individualized, I feel like, but this one's really good. I would recommend. It separates my lashes really nicely. Next, I'm going to go in with Lancome Monsieur Big. I love this one. I actually kind of got it on a whim because it was a part of an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and I love it now. Now you can stop here, you can put some lashes on, whatever. I'm going to go in with a lip liner. I'm going to use the Kylie Lip Kit. This is going to be in the color Bear. Now, I love this color, but I'm also going to top it with the Anastasia lip gloss in Sunscape. It's like a pink. It's a light pink with like gold shimmers. And let's see. And that's the whole look. I just don't really feel like putting on fake eyelashes right now, but you totally could, and it would look super cute with this. But that's the look today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment box down below. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!